Anime! What is anime? Anime is art. Or as Google defines it, the technique of photographing successive drawings or positions or puppets or models to create an illusion of movement when the movie is shown as a sequence. AKA, many picture, make thing look like it moves. You might be thinking to yourself, why are you telling us all this? Why does this matter? Why are you showing me this? Where's my family? All your questions will be answered. I wanted to talk about anime because it means a lot to me and shaped me into becoming the person I am today.
もういない。だけど、俺の背中に、この胸に、一つになって生き続ける。穴を掘るなら天をつく。墓穴掘っても掘り抜けて、突き抜けたなら俺の勝ち。俺を誰だと思っている。俺はシモンだ。カミナの兄貴じゃない。俺は俺だ。穴掘りシモンだ。
Let me take you back to a land called 2008. Think back to shows like Flapjack, Foster, Chowder. These shows are pretty good, but as a kid, not a single one of them would ever match up to Dragon Ball Z. If you asked me when I was 5 what the fuck was going on in Dragon Ball Z, I don't think I could tell you. But what I could tell you was I loved watching Son Goku kick the shit out of everyone. And you see, like, the biggest problem was I was watching them on these, and they were all out of order. I was going from season 1 to season 12 in a single day. But even though I was doing that, I couldn't get enough of this show. And apparently neither could the rest of the West, because, I mean, good God, look at this shit. As goofy as shit as this kid is, I was doing the same exact shit with my brothers. I just don't know what it was. Something about this show spoke to us as a kid, especially if you compare it to the shows of the time. If I had to choose between watching this...
And give me some sugar. Nice to meet you.
Or this. It's kind of hard, you know. Well, let me get into more detail about why this show stuck with me the way it did. Son Goku wasn't like Finn or Mordecai or Rigby or any other kind of main character I'd seen at the time. For me, Goku was the embodiment of pushing through obstacles or walls or any kind of challenge that stood up to him. It was the part of me when I was little that wanted to fight back against every problem I had. Silly as it is, my issues didn't really seem that bad when watching Goku save worlds, because if he could get through it, I knew I probably had a pretty decent chance of getting through it. And that feeling I had just wasn't something I got from any other character before at that time. I consumed so much fucking Dragon Ball content despite having zero idea what the actual story ever was. It's a miracle I stayed with it for as long as I did. But the stuff was really cool to me. I mean, the fights, the characters, and the villains, it was like a cracked up version of anything I could get my hands on as a kid. And without knowing it at the time, made a pretty big impact on me and made me realize I was a big stinky nerd and that this stuff was still pretty niche to the grand public. And I was about to realize that in a very big way very soon. Jumping to another anime I watched as a kid religiously was the Digimon movie. You see, this dude directed that movie. And if you don't know who that dude is, that's Mamoru Hosoda. Basically, God. Everything this dude touches becomes an instant classic. If you've ever heard movies of like Belle, The Boy and the Beast, and The Girl Who Left Their Time, fucking Summer Wars, he had a unique art style that you can't really find anywhere else. And for some magical reason was working on this dingy little Digimon movie. And Mamoru did just that. He made this movie amazing. And it would be an amazing movie if the fucking monkeys at Studiopolis didn't mash 3 different short films together into one incoherent story. These are 3 completely different short films with different stories put into one movie. Why? And the fucking dub is just... So it is currently 2 in the morning. And I'm editing this video, and I'm looking for clips to put for this part, and I retract my statement. The dub is fucking gold.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold.
I'm the one with the problem, not you. Get over it.
Okay.
And even with all that being said, I still saw the good in this movie because what was good was really fucking good. I got into a lot of like school arguments about this with people I knew, and I'm pretty sure this is where my Walter White arc started with Digimon. And it was kind of just another signal from God telling me that this stuff was really weird. This is a really weird thing to like, and you're weird if you like it.
Buddy, you're weird.
Again, I was watching all of this in like elementary school, so, you know, watching fucking Omnimon absolutely blast Diaboromon is really cool. And same with Goku, like, beating the shit out of Frieza, but I don't really think I understood it at the time. And as I transitioned from elementary school to middle school, I discovered one of my favorite shows of all time. If you're an anime fan, you kind of saw this coming from a mile away from the beginning of the video, but Gurren Lagann was the show that I ended up finding. And the reason I say this is one of my favorite shows of all time is because, similar to Dragon Ball and Digimon, the main character of this show spoke to me in a way I don't think, even to this day, I have gotten from any other character before. And it's Simone that I connected to more than any other character in any piece of fiction that I've ever seen before. I could definitely go on a whole rant about Simone and his entire character arc and why I love him in the way I do, but just for this video and the sake of you guys, I'm just gonna keep it brief and short and kind of compact that all into his speech. It's hard to talk about Simone's speech without going completely into his character and the plot of the show. So I'll go ahead and try to summarize this as best as I can. Ultimately, Simone's speech is about accepting yourself, and only in accepting yourself can you be strong. At the time of being a little 13-year-old kid, really meant a lot to me. As I was growing up, I was starting to learn that anime wasn't exactly an art style, as I felt it was more of a medium. I feel like a lot of people dismiss anime partially because of how it looks. And you know what? That's a fair criticism, honestly. It's very valid. Anime can be very, very weird sometimes, so I don't blame people for not getting into it. I feel like if you haven't seen anime before, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice by not trying it out at least. Because to me, anime is just another way of telling a story, and I'll always love those stories. Once I finished Gurren Lagann, I didn't really know what to do with myself. I ended up watching that show, I think 4 times, but as I let one masterpiece go, I went ahead and picked up another. Moving from middle school to high school now, I'm going to be talking about one of my other favorite shows, which is One Piece. At this point in my life, I had completely subjugated myself to watching nothing but anime. I think if I could give you a number of every show I had watched at the time, somewhere in the 50s, I don't know. I watched just a ridiculous amount. Sidestepping that, I've been watching One Piece since 6th grade, all the way up until even now. I still watch it. And it's one of the only anime that I don't think I ever really get tired of. And a lot of the complaint with this show comes with the length of it, but for me, it's actually never been long enough. I seriously can't get enough of this show. Even at 1,017 episodes at the time of this video, I feel like I've been brainwashed by One Piece, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I think everything about this show is probably the best sort of experience I can get from an anime. When it comes to the world building, the characters, the story, the mystery in this show, I think as of right now, I have not found a better show than One Piece. And I kind of want to wrap it all up. at the end here, and I wanted to talk about anime because I want to show people these shows. I want people to go out and watch their own shows and their own things, and I want them to experience what I experienced as a kid. But now that they're older, and I don't know if it'll hit the same, but it's still, these shows mean a lot to me. Even to this day, I still find new shows and new manga that I really enjoy, and I kind of just want to share that with everybody. I want people to know what's out there. Again, it's completely valid to not want to watch anime. I get it. I've had to talk a lot of people into watching anime, and then once they're there, they love it. But I'm gonna recommend these shows here for starters. But if you can get through these shows and you're still not really feeling it, I wouldn't, you know, no pressure. I'm not holding you at gunpoint. You know, I let your family go a long time ago. It's okay. You're good. And this video was just all over the place too. I'm sorry about that. I've been making this video as I go, so it is definitely all over the place. I didn't want this video to be super long. Thanks for sticking around for as long as you guys did. Thanks for making it to the end of the video and all. And I'll see you guys next time.